Are you subscribed? If you're not subscribed, you're not. What are you doing? Take a second. It takes 2 seconds. Go down below, click the subscribe button, and just get subscribed, because content's pretty fire over here, guys. I'm just saying. Now that I've asked for you to subscribe, we're gonna get into a sensitive topic. We're gonna get into a topic that a lot of people get very upset about, and especially the ones in the Call of Duty community, because it is a hot topic. It is hot topic. It's okay. It's a hot topic. It is, and it's something that is touchy, very sensitive, very sensitive, because a lot of people have opinions, and a lot of people also don't see certain things from any perspective except for their own. So I'm going to try and be the angel and the devil on your shoulder. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm also going to be, trying to explain things from a content creator, streamer perspective on a lot of things that have happened over the last few days. First of all, I do want to apologize. I've not been uploading the past few days. I've been signing some papers, and I'll just leave it at that. But today we're going to be covering the 200,000 bans that have happened in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So Activision, as of recently, or not Activision, but Infinity Ward tweeted out that they have officially banned over 200,000 people in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That's insane. That is huge. But do you know how many of those were done by hand? Way too many. And I've been somebody that has been asking for an anti-cheat for a really, really long time. And I mean, it really, like, since the game of Warzone came out, I was like, why don't we have an anti-cheat? Why don't we have something that can detect these people? But I get it. I get why we haven't had an anti-cheat, and I'm going to explain it to you right now. So Activision decided to add in somewhat of an anti-cheat, which means they can detect certain cheats within the game. As of recently, it has been the EngineOwning cheats, and they banned 20,000 players. They banned 20,000 players in a ban wave of people that are using the EngineOwning cheats. However, we do need to talk about Activision's track record whenever it comes to things like this. Activision does not have a great track record on most things. Between like having, a really, really ridiculously overpowered monetary system whenever it comes to microtransactions, where they literally made you gamble for it. Between, having an actual patent for players to get into lobbies with people that have skins and better guns and are better at the game than them, so that they'll want to buy skins and stuff like that. Activision does some pretty shady things, but also they've done these ban waves before and banned hundreds, if not thousands, of wrongly, like, falsely accused players. So here's the deal. Activision doesn't have a great track record, right? And that needs to just be kept in mind. But past that, let's talk about what this anti-cheat thing means for us. First of all, it means less cheaters. We're going to have a lot less cheaters within the game, and that's huge. The fact that they're slowly starting to put in things for certain cheats in the game that they've found is fantastic. It's fantastic. I would assume they're kind of, reverse engineering, trying to figure out what it is that allows them to use the cheats, and then implementing that in the back-end system and stuff like that. But it also gives them the opportunity to find more engines like the one that we've already seen. And I do want to let you know, if you see me looking here, the reason why is because I've a very long list of things that we're going to be talking about in today's video. So please stay tuned. I'm gonna get to every single thing that you can think of. Okay, but it does also leave room for more wrongly accused players to get banned, like wrongly banned players, and that is what we may be seeing within this past wave. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. A person that I know, a person that I've known for a long time, named Wagnificent, was banned in Call of Duty Warzone, and this video is not really meant to be all about him. It's more to talk about the cheating situation and how excited I really am excited for them to start putting in more things like this. But I do want to remind you that Activision doesn't have a great track record. So Wag gets banned. I don't know how many of you guys know who Wagnificent is. He is a top streamer. He plays with a lot of the top guys, and he got banned. And from what we can tell, it does seem to be wrongly, I say we, content creators, it does seem to be wrongly banned because it doesn't really make sense that he would be using cheats, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But he reached out to Activision over on Twitter, and he was like, hey, I was like, I believe I was falsely banned, and this seems to be a little bit wrong. From what I could see, Activision didn't respond to him. He sent a DM. I think they may have responded to the DM, but they didn't respond to him openly on Twitter. I would assume that's because there were so many people with check marks that were, you know, verified on Twitter responding and being like, yeah, this probably needs to get fixed. So I would say they didn't reach out because they don't want to get bombarded with messages just based on that. But they did, ironically, respond to somebody in the comments that said, oh, this also happened to me. And they were like, yeah, just send us a DM. And Wag sent a DM based on that. So that was kind of a funny thing. And then the next thing that happened that really blew up the situation is that Charlie Intel, the top leading Call of Duty news outlet, they covered it. They made a whole article saying top streamer Wagnificent gets banned, blah, 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 blah. And they went through everything and they talked about everything. And they were like, yeah, it's 100% definite, all this other stuff. And then they were like, our sources didn't name a source. Didn't say anything about a source. They just said our sources say it's 100%. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure they have good sources, but when you say sources, it makes me believe that that's a little bit sus. It's a little bit suspect that that it could just be some dude that works close to Activision and is trying to get clout. But we'll go further with that. In the article, after everything's done said and they've finished saying all this stuff about it's 100% definite, at the very least, they added in this little paragraph that says, also, we actually have literally no idea what we're talking about. And there's nothing that says that he actually was banned for using cheats. And when I read that, I was like, what? What do you mean? You're going to make a whole article saying that this guy cheated on it's 100%, but we don't know. We don't know. There's no way to guarantee it. What? You can't do like that. You can't do that. If you don't have a hard evidence of saying 100% he's banned because of this, it doesn't make sense. So Charlie Intel, what the heck are you doing, dude? That blows my mind. But that's not the only thing. After Charlie Intel came out with a video about it, a cheater who also uses EngineOwning actually came out with a video himself. And we're not going to dive deep into the video, but we will talk about a few things in the video. He says that there is an icon on Wagnificent's desktop for Spotify that is the same icon that he used that was EngineOwning. However, in the video, he doesn't show the icon on his own desktop. He just says there used to be an icon right here. Sick, bro. That's dope, man. That's great. Good source in there. Thanks for showing us all of that. And then he goes, it could also be Microsoft Edge. So the picture he's talking about on Wag's desktop is actually what a broken shortcut looks like whenever you update your app, right? So let's say that I have an app on my desktop or I put it in my taskbar or something like that, and then I update the application. What's going to happen is it's going to break the link and it's going to look like the default shortcut icon or whatever it is for any program on the computer. So that's kind of disproven already because there's no guarantee that it wasn't just a broken updated app because he didn't even show it on his own PC. This could just be a clout chase for someone that cheats in video games, which already tells you that, like, if he's cheating, how much can you really trust the guy? That's the point. And people look at the guy and he's like, he's cheating. He's got to be right. What? What do you mean? Have you known cheaters to not be liars? Really? Really? Are you telling me that? So that's what a broken shortcut link looks like. And then after being pressed about it, Wagnificent says, Wagnificent says, okay, well, I'll show you the link. So he opens up Spotify, he opens up Microsoft Edge, and he's like, well, look, it's not that. And then it's over. That's all you can say about that. And then the cheater also says, well, Wagnificent's on controller, and he's using aim lock hacks, so it doesn't show up on his stream or anything like that. And I'm like, okay. That's cool. So if you look at Wagnificent's gameplay, he's aim hacking, right? No, he's literally shooting at people. He's aiming down at people like a top tier player does. When a top tier player looks at somebody, they will adjust the aim to go at the highest damage points. You'll shoot about right here on the chest and it'll go up and hit the head. That's your goal. That's what you want to hit as a top tier player. I do it all the time. Everybody on controller is definitely doing it because they have, aim assist, and it's easier to hit those body shots. So to say that he's got aim lock, it doesn't really make sense either. And then if you look at players like TP, who's on controller, by the way, his looks the exact same. So you can't say, because then you have to be like, well, if Wag's cheating, then TP's cheating. If TP's cheating, then Symphony's cheating, and we'll talk about that later. If Symphony's cheating, then Courage JD and Tim the Tapman and Ninja and all these other guys are cheating. And do you know how stupid that makes you look? Do you genuinely know how dumb that makes you look? And I'll get into that as well later as to why it makes you look dumb. But let's move on to my experience with Wagnificent, ladies and gentlemen. How do I know Wagnificent? Do I even know this guy? Am I just talking about how this guy's so cool and the best? I kind of know Wagnificent just a little bit. He's not my best friend. We don't go skipping down through the daisies, holding hands and singing Kumbaya or anything like that. But I know him a little bit. Okay, I played with him a single day in Blackout. Okay, I played with him a single day in Blackout, and this man carried me so hard. He is so unbelievably good. And this is on PS4, by the way. PS4. He is so ridiculously good. And the only thing that he could have that would make him any better would be like the Cronus. I think it was the Cronus Max back then, right? You had the Cronus Max. And the only thing that did was like the rapid fire mods and stuff like that and things of that sort. And you saw it very, very little on that game, and people like and I apologize for mentioning your name in this, people like Youngsters got called out for it. He literally took it off and showed, like, he had a strike pack. He didn't have the Cronus, but he had a strike pack, and he got called out for that. And the only reason he had a strike pack was because he wanted to use the back buttons, because it was $40 versus a $200 scuff controller, and it just made more sense. So he takes it off and he's like, all right, fine, we won't use the back buttons. He's just as good, if not better. You see Youngsters is thriving on Twitch, so there's no reason to be like, oh, well, he's got to be cheating if he's this good. That's stupid. That's such a dumb mindset. And I see that so much within, the community, is like, if they're this good, they must be cheating. Like, I have videos where I literally shoot three people through walls, and people are like, oh, you're cheating. And I'm like, how could I be cheating? Because I've got 2 PCs. We'll get into that later too. I've got 2 PCs. How could I possibly cheating? Regardless, he's an unbelievably good player. But after the day that I played with him, about a week later, we were planning to play with each other again, and TP ends up being like, hey, bro, you trying to play? So he picks up Wagnificent, and Wag starts playing with the big boys. He's playing with all the popular guys in Call of Duty Blackout. And then after that, moving into Warzone, he continues to play with the same people. He continues to play with these top people. In fact, he's meeting more and more top names to play with, okay? So moving in, I lost Wag. I didn't get to play with Wag again. He was a super cool guy whenever I played with him. We talked in DMs quite a few times here and there about certain things, to do better as content creators, what we could do. I talked to him about the things that were happening to me during Blackout, because I was in a tough spot in Blackout, and he was always nice to me. He always stood up for the things that were right, and just based off of his merit, just based off of the kind of person that I think that he is, the kind of person that he seems to be, and trust me, I'm pretty good at judging people. It didn't really make sense to me that he would be a cheater in this situation, but we'll go past that, actually. But yeah, a lot of people, whenever they lose somebody that they want to play with, and they see him playing with the big dogs, they get really jealous. But for me, from a business perspective, I look at it and I'm so excited for the guy, because that's a big move. Making the move to play with people like TP and stuff like that, especially like the top dogs in the game, that's a big deal. So he does that, and then he does it in Warzone. He continues to play with these guys in Warzone, and he played with all the top names that you can think of. So he did all this without cheating. So why does he need to cheat, right? That's my first question. Why does he need to cheat if he's already getting, recognition without cheating in Call of Duty Blackout, moving into Warzone, still not cheating? Why does he need to cheat? What's the point? So let's talk about risk versus reward, ladies and gentlemen. What is the reward for cheating in Call of Duty Warzone as a content creator, as somebody that streams, as somebody that makes YouTube videos? What is the reward that you get? You get you play a little bit better, especially with the cheats that he supposedly was using, which was aim lock without walls or anything like that. It was just aim lock. You'd get close to them and they'd lock on, right? And by the way, that's a button. That's a button that you press on your keyboard. I'd just like to point that out. If you want to aim lock, it is a button that you turn on, because we've had this discussion in a lot of the older videos that I did where I spectated hackers, and watching so many hackers, you kind of learn this dude's not hacking. So it's a button that you press, and you can see when it automatically locks. They'll be like the person's body is right here. They'll be about right here, and it'll just flick straight to their head, just as fast as it possibly can. So that's not what you see with Wag's gameplay, but risk versus reward, he plays slightly better and gets some viewers, right? He gets some viewers. He pulls them from Symphony, TP, whoever it is that he's playing with at the time. His risk is that he loses his whole career. Everything that he's worked for years. He loses his audience. He loses the friendships, the connections that he's made, possible sponsorships, tons and tons of money. For those of you that care so much about money, he loses all of that if he cheats and he gets caught cheating. Let that sink in. From a business perspective, this small thing that could get you so little versus losing everything. It doesn't make sense. It would make no sense for him to do that. So that's why I think, first of all, it would be stupid. It would be so dumb. And Wag, let me tell you, brother, I love you. But if you are found out cheating, I'll kill you myself, dadgummit. That's stupid. Don't do that. But it wouldn't make sense from a career standpoint. Okay, let me just start there. So let's kind of talk about something here. He built connections without cheating and play with top names in the game. So what's the point of cheating? There's not one. Would it really help that much? Not really. What could it possibly do to further his career past the connections that he's already made? It couldn't. And I will say this. There's been a ton of messages that I've been getting on Twitter and stuff like that, because I've responded to a few things trying to explain myself and be like, it just doesn't make sense that he would do this. So there's a couple of messages, and then Esports Talk also made a video on this, and they didn't give an opinion or anything like that. But in the comments, I read some things that are the top questions, I would say, about whenever it comes to him cheating. The first thing was, just because he's a streamer doesn't mean he doesn't cheat. And yeah, no, that's true. There's plenty of streamers that have been caught cheating. There's been plenty of pros that have been caught cheating. And most of these guys, first of all, are on one PC setups. And it's very hard to catch a lot of these, top pros or anything like that. But you don't really see it from people that are, first of all, on controller, because it's 10 times harder to cheat because you don't have these macros on your keyboard or anything like that you can just press immediately. You can't just flick on, flick off, turn on, turn off, stuff like that. So if you're playing at the top level, if you're already at the level that Wag is, he has the numbers, he's playing with the top guys, you don't really have a reason to make that risk. It doesn't really make sense. The next thing is EngineOwning was detected on his computer, and that's why he was banned. Actually, contrary to popular belief, there is literally no proof suggesting that it was EngineOwning, and even Activision has refused to speak on this specifically because they just said there was a ban wave. Okay, that's what they said. Why would they ban him for no reason? Again, Activision's track record is not that great. Activision does it all the time and literally is known for making mistakes whenever it comes to banning people wrongly or just doing stupid things. Just know that Activision doesn't have a great track record whenever it comes to this, especially with people that are not COD partners. Hashtag COD partners, The ban is proof. That's the next thing. No, ban is not proof. I had a friend who got banned, and literally if he tried for weeks or months, could not figure out how to put cheats on his computer, no matter what. I promise you, and if you guys are friends with me, you know who I'm talking about. I love the guy, but my man, I've helped him with so many things on his computer. He could not figure out, if he wanted to, how to put cheats on his computer. I can promise you that. It would not make any sense. Next thing, every top player cheats. First of all, most top players are on two PCs. As far as I know, when you do this, you actually have to run the whole screen through a capture card in your streaming PCs, okay? So what that does is, if you have cheats on your screen, if you have anything popping up on that monitor, it would show up on the stream, no matter what. There's no way to hide it. There's very few people that are top streamers that actually stream on one PC, but mostly because it's like a money thing. If you're making enough money, why not invest in your stream, stuff like that. So most streamers that I know play on two PCs. They'll stream on two PCs. They've got one PC for gaming, one PC for streaming, and that's where they go. They'll do 100% off of those two PCs. So there's really no way that you could say that every top streamer that plays Warzone or all these other games, they're hacking, because it doesn't make sense. He plays with Symphony, so he must be cheating. First of all, if you really think Symphony is cheating, you have a big old smooth brain. None of the wrinkles. There's no wrinkles in your brain, which means you got the big dum-dum. He grew his brand, like Symphony grew his brand specifically around the fact that people thought he was cheating. So what he would do is he would troll people, and he would do things like shooting through walls or shooting at people in the sky. And every once in a while, 1 in 1,000 chance of him doing this, he would hit people. And when he hit people, people would be like, oh, he's cheating. And they'd clip it and stuff like that. But he did it all the freaking time. All the time before he ever had any crazy clips happen. So don't think for a second that Symphony's actually cheating because he's trolling you. And you are stupid for thinking so. Okay, the next thing is that he shouldn't have blocked his screen whenever the error message popped up. First of all, I want to say, like, I've been getting the same error message over and over that he got on his screen. And it's kind of funny that people use that as an excuse. First of all, anytime I show my desktop, I don't feel comfortable. And the reason why is because personally, I keep folders on my desktop that are things that I want to get to easily or things that I'm working on for the future that I don't want to show people about, right? So I don't like showing my desktop personally, which means anytime that, you know, the game's going to crash or something like that, I bring up my full face cam so that it doesn't show the actual, you know, screen. I don't want to show my desktop. So that's pretty much the last thing that people are talking about. I think there's a few more things, but hopefully I covered everything whenever it comes to WAG. I just think it's crazy. I'm very, very excited. I really am. I'm very excited about, you know, being able to have these anti-cheats in the game. You have to understand there are going to be things that happen wrongly. They're going to wrongly like ban certain people, and every once in a while, you know, it happens. It really does happen, and Activision is known for something like this. So you can't expect them to not make mistakes, especially because they're a big name company. Heck, they've lied to us in the past about skill-based matchmaking being in Warzone. They literally looked the creators in the face whenever they came up to play Warzone, and they were like, yep, nope, there's not going to be any skill-based matchmaking in Warzone. And then look at where we're at now. Everybody's fussing about skill-based matchmaking. So just know Activision doesn't have a great track record when it comes to things like that, but they're also just people, and they make mistakes. So please, don't hold them to the highest standard in the world just because they're a AAA company. You know, it's stupid. It wouldn't make sense for us to hold them to such a high standard, because we've already seen what they're capable of, and most of the time it takes forever, especially after, you know, laying off 800 plus people last year. It takes a lot longer. So the last thing I'd like to say, the very last thing I'd like to say, is that everyone supported Doc, and they were really confused, and nobody was upset whenever Doc got banned from Twitch, right? And there were suspicions of what it could be. There was no reason that he was banned. No one gave a reason. Doc didn't give a reason. Twitch didn't give a reason. And there were suspicions of what it could possibly be. But, you know, everybody supported him. Everybody was like, no, we're with you, Doc, stuff like that. And then something similar happens to WAG whenever it comes to his Activision account, and people immediately assume the worst because of what happened. People said, you know, with Doc that it was a lot of different things that it could have been, but no one had any clue. And the same thing happened here with WAG, and everybody's like, nope, he's a cheater, he's a cheater, he's a cheater. Everybody's happy because they can find somebody and target their hatred towards them over the situation. So we don't know. There's literally no hard evidence, and the only hard evidence that could specifically make it to where, you know, WAG was 100% cheating is if Activision specifically came out and said, hey, he was cheating. But when they were pressed about this, they declined to speak on him specifically, but instead said that there was a ban wave. That's all they said. So they know that there's room for error, and they know that there's an opportunity that they could have messed up. And that's what we need to keep in mind in situations like this, instead of the mindset of guilty until proven innocent. That's ridiculous to me. I get the internet is the wild, wild west, but stop doing this guilty until proven innocent crap. It makes no sense. Look at somebody, especially somebody that's respected. I mean, respected in the community for being a good player, a good person. Stop doing stuff like that, because it's just so awful. Like, imagine the hate you have to feel in the world to put out such a negative message like that, instead of looking at someone, giving them the benefit of the doubt because they're already well known and stuff like that. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Give them a little bit of time, and you'll see that this guy's like, I'm 99.99999% sure that he's not cheating. And if I end up being wrong, I'll bite my words and stuff like that so hard, and I'll let you guys know I was wrong. I have no issue with telling you guys that I'm wrong on any situation. And I've done it in plenty of videos, just been like, hey guys, I'm wrong. But in this situation, I just have a hard time believing that it would make any sense for Wagnificent to be cheating. And that's my point in all this. But look at that as well as WAG situation, look at a lot of the other situations past that, and the room for error that we do have with these bans. If you've been wrongly banned in the past and you haven't cheated, please let me know in the comments, because I have friends that have had that same thing happen to them, and they got banned and they weren't cheating or anything like that, and it just didn't make sense. I've not been banned, but I've been getting the same error message constantly. Like, there's just a lot of things that don't add up here, and a lot of things that wouldn't make sense, especially risk versus reward in this situation. It doesn't make sense personally. And I really hope that you guys went into this with an open mind. If you enjoyed the discussion in any way, it would be greatly appreciated. You drop the video, like, share this video, because a lot of people are sharing the negative videos, and I think we do need to share a little bit of the positive videos on the side of the cheating situation, because I am very excited about having an anti-cheat. They've banned over 200,000 players. That's huge. That's a lot. That's, well, I would say players, accounts. They banned over 200,000 accounts, and that's a big deal. So good for Activision. I hope that they can clean things up and maybe make sure that they're not banning people wrongfully. But at the end of the day, whenever it's a 99.9% correct rate versus a 0.01 or a 0.1% like wrong rate, like, they're probably not going to care that much, just because they made most people happy. That's the big thing, especially as a content creator. Like, when I post a video, like, this video is probably not going to be received well. I'm just going to let you guys know it's probably not going to be received well, and I hope that it is, because this is just how I feel about the situation. I think that that's something that very much matters, but I hope this video is received well. But even if this video isn't received well, I know that at the end of the day, like, I got something off of my chest that I needed to say, because I hate seeing people that I know that have been good people and been good to me and gave me the benefit of the doubt, even though, you know, I did some stupid things in the past. And I say stupid things, but just things that didn't look so great, but at the end of the day weren't something that was bad, you know? So WAG gave me the benefit of the doubt whenever I had things happen to me in the past with other creators. And if I don't give him the benefit of the doubt, then who the heck am I? Regardless, I appreciate you guys coming out to the video. If you enjoyed, if you just like, you know, the thoughtful conversation, please do me a favor, drop the video, like, share this video as many times as you can, and let's just try and be good people, you know? I think that's a big thing. Is there's so much awful things being said right now. I think we need to say the good stuff and be the angel on the shoulder instead of the devil, you know what I mean? But thank you guys immensely. I hope you all have a great day, and this was a video entirely about WAG. I didn't plan for this to just be about WAG, but regardless, thank you guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.